Hi everybody. I wanted to come on today. Um, kind of wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Let's see. I had a lot of things I wanted to say. Now I don't remember what I wanted to say. But I know everybody celebrates Christmas, and some people celebrate in their own way. Some people don't celebrate. Um, and I know I have a lot of different people from all around my YouTube channel. And I want to thank all my supporters this year. And I think I started back in April, late April or something like that. Um, and I haven't quite hit 250 subs yet. So, anyways, and I just kind of wanted to tell everybody Merry Christmas. Um, and I wanted to tell everybody a little story about a Christmas that I remember. Because I know there's some people out there that Christmas isn't so great. And um, my kids went through a lot of Christmases that weren't great. And one of them that I remember, and I'm probably going to get some hate. So, and it is what it is. We didn't have much money. And I had an ex that any money that came in was his. It didn't matter what had to be paid. It didn't matter what was going on. The money was his. Um, like the day before Christmas, I went to my one aunt's house and I worked almost the whole day wrapping gifts, cleaning her house, doing everything she needed done. I'll tell you what, do you know how disheartening it is to wrap somebody else's gifts for their kids and grandkids? I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gifts, expensive gifts, gifts that I could have never afforded to give my kids. And I know she used to buy these kind of gifts for her kids when they were little too. She always had big, huge Christmases for her kids. And when I got done, and this is back in like mid-90s, so this is quite a while ago, over about 20 years ago. So when I got done, she paid me $45. And she took me down to where we were staying because we had no heat. At that time, we had no electricity in the house we owned. Our house wasn't very good, but it was ours. I should say his, because everything was always his. So, got there, and the first thing he did was stick his hand out. It didn't matter. We didn't have any gifts for the kids, and we were supposed to go with his dad and his dad's girlfriend to buy gifts. He stuck his hand out, and when I threw a fit, he threw a $10 bill back at me. That was for the kids as Christmas presents. Well, we went to a dollar store. I managed to buy each of the kids, and I scraped up pennies and change out of all the vehicles that was around, and I managed to buy them each 3 $1 items, and then a game and a bag of candy. That night when I laid on the floor, because he had to have the couch, me and the kids laid on the filthy, dirty, animal pee soaked floor. It was pretty bad. You get up in the morning and you wash yourself off so you didn't smell so bad. And I laid there, and it was late. They did have the Christmas tree lit up, and the few gifts we had was under the tree with tons of gifts for everybody else's kids and all that, for all the rest of the grandkids and stuff. So I laid there on the floor, and it was cold. We're talking a mobile home, so you know the floors are cold. It wasn't very insulated. We're talking upstate New York, so it was cold. And I thought my kids were all sleeping. And I have to admit, I was crying. I was pretty upset. And my son rolled over and he looked at me and he says, Mom, it's okay. We don't really need much for Christmas because tomorrow morning we'll get up and Grandpa will make us huge pancakes. And tomorrow we'll have a big, huge dinner with all the family. And we have a roof over our head and we're warm. He says, and we're together, Mom, and that's all that matters. He gave me a kiss and a hug. And he rolled back over and cuddled up against me. And he put my arms around him and we went to sleep. And I think that was the most memorable Christmas I had, because it reminded me that as long as we were together, that it was going to be okay. So even though there's a lot of people out there that don't have their family, this year I don't have my family. Because of family arguments and disagreements and stupidity, I won't even have FaceTime with my grandkids. So, for all of you out there that get to spend your holidays with your family, remember those that don't have holidays with their families. If you know someone that suffers from depression, PTSD, and things like that, don't force them to come out of their house. I'll have to tell you, last week, I didn't leave my house. I didn't take a shower. I went almost a week without taking a shower, and that's not like me. I didn't want nobody around me. I go through bouts like that, especially in the holidays. I have non-combat PTSD because of abuse, and I have extreme depression and anxiety, and this time of the year, and this year's even worse. This year's even worse for me. So, I used to have my son to fall back on. So, when you know somebody that's going through a really hard time at Christmas, don't force them. Don't say, I'm going to make that person leave their house. I'm going to make that person do this. I'm going to make them do that. I'm going to make them take a shower. Don't. Show up at their house with maybe a Big Mac, a plate of food, some cookies, something like that. Or just show up with a movie. You don't have to stay and watch it with them. Sometimes maybe they don't want to have you watch it with them. Sometimes just showing up with a movie, some snacks, something like that, and let them have their time alone. Because if you force somebody, like right now, if somebody was to force me to go do something I want to do right now, you will make you an enemy. You will become my worst enemy, and it wouldn't be good. If somebody was to show up right now and knock on this door right here beside me, the things that would happen would not be good. My mother would fly out of my mouth. She had the worst vocabulary, worse than most men. And she had a temper, and I have her temper. Normally I'm a happy person, but remember that when people are suffering with PTSD because of something that's happened to them, depression, anxiety, the best way to help them or to support them is to just be there. Maybe ask them, what can I do for you? Sometimes it is just, let me have my space. For those of you that have it, if all you can do is wake up in the morning, if you take medications, take your medications, maybe grab yourself something, a piece of toast, your cup of coffee, whatever. And if you go back to bed, forgive yourself. I do that often. Sometimes that's all we can do. And if that's all we can do, then I think we've accomplished a lot. So everybody out there, I wish you all Merry Christmas. Remember your elderly, your family. There's a lot of people that sit home alone by themselves at Christmas because people have forgotten about them. You know, aunts, uncles, the younger generation just don't, frankly, they just don't give a shit. Sorry, but it's the truth. They're all wrapped up in their own drama, their own little worlds, with their phones stuck in their faces, and they just don't care. So, remember to take time for yourself. If you are suffering, remember to just take care of you and don't worry about the rest of them. Those of you that know people that have problems during the holidays, don't push them. Just remember to check in on them. Maybe show up with a little, not necessarily call it a doggy bag, but a care bag. Something in it. Fuzzy socks in a movie sounds good to me. I'd be happy with that. Somebody show up at my house with a Big Mac right now. Well, not right now, so to speak, but if somebody was to call in Pizza Hut with an order to be delivered to my house with some hot wings and cheesy breadsticks, you'd be my best friend for life. Because today is a day where I made myself get out of bed. And I'm here. So, everybody, have a Merry Christmas. I will get my video out that I should have put out a couple days ago. And then this SD card will be done and I can put my other SD card back in my phone. I do have a SD card that I had to hand over to the Kansas Sheriff Department because I found some things in the woods that may be linked to a missing person. So I haven't heard anything. I have not gone back to that area because I don't know what's going on. So maybe it's been a little over a week, so maybe I'll go back up there this week and see if the items are still there or if they even bothered. So hopefully. Everybody, Merry Christmas and take care. Bye-bye.